Well, hello scrappers. Thought to come out here today and try to do a melt video. When I first started setting everything up, had overcast. We had a good storm come through last night, early this morning. I think it hit about 4:30 and got out of here at about 9 or so when it finally stopped. Been kind of prepping this lawnmower engine out of a rider. You can see I got some of the content down here in the wheelbarrow. Of course, I had a few pieces of plastic like a dipstick tube and whatnot. And I've got, I don't know, it looks like an intake there for the throttle body, another intake. Several other parts, looks like another intake over here on the edge. But I've had a few people ask me about what I do if I put magnesium in there. Magnesium, and you'll have the 4th of July going on. But so I thought I'd bring the grinder out here and the copper sulfate. So I just grind me a spot here, right there. Not sure how well those monitors picking it up. Didn't darken up, so it should be cast aluminum. Another thing too is if it's copper, if it's magnesium, you'd see little bubbles. So I'm going to set that down in there and set the camera in the tripod. I'm going to walk around the back side, and I got this wheelbarrow kind of right in the way. Oh, I don't block the view. Set it in like that, or that might work. Yeah, it was nice and overcast when I started. Now we got sunshine. So we got a few spots here. I'm gonna get one of my plates of steel back here to kind of stop some of the heat from going out there. Put that on there. We don't have a lot of room in there, but a little bit. I'll come over here. The way I did my tube here, I put a piece of wire on the end of it. That way it doesn't suck the oil off the bottom of the jug. Just used electrical tape to hold it. Now for those that are new to the channel, I have a playlist on this burner. I have a playlist for all the melting videos actually. And I have a picture of this burner set up before it's put in the tube. So basically from here on is brass. I figured it'd be in the heat, so I wanted to go with brass on it. And it just comes down here, elbows over, and you got the siphon nozzle on the end, and this comes up where your oil goes in here. Now, you got air coming in back here, and then I can regulate the air here. I've just got a gauge on here, and for using this one, I usually go up where it almost pegs out, way over here at this end. And around 40, 50, whatever. So I've got a 33-gallon Husky air compressor that I run this with. This valve here is for the propane. Now, I don't melt with propane, I just use the propane to get it lit. And, but you'll probably see the oil come up the tube. I might go ahead and extend the tripod for a minute, because I got to be able to try to light this and do a few other odds and ends. But well, I got to walk over here, turn the propane on. I got the tank way back here, away from everything. Don't have to turn it on once, just a couple turns. Got my water right here, because I figure as that aluminum which I've had several people mention about putting a pot of water underneath. And actually, for those that have seen my other melting videos, this whole setup, this metal table here, I brought it in scrap, and it's got some good thick channel iron on it, so it took a little while to cut through, but I cut through the bottom plate that I had on there. I cut through the table, and then I got a 5-gallon bucket of water. I'll probably have to add cold water to it as I go, because it's going to get warm, and we want to try to get that aluminum cooled off as soon as possible. And then I got to walk around there anyway, get my tongs from under there. So we'll go ahead and get this fired up. So see if I can see what we got going here. I got the valve opens a little bit. I'm not sure if any gas is even coming out, honestly. Okay, we got some. We got a little flame down in there right now from oil burn. You can see the oil working its way up. I crack open the air. Close to the very back edge. I did a melt video. Get a lot of people enjoying the melt videos, so try to put some out. But here in Oklahoma, get a lot of wind. I try not to do this on windy days. I really like that table setup now. I've got a lot of this stuff over here. Trying to melt the aluminum off of those, but I'm not sure if it's really worth the time and the effort. But this whole tub here is probably full of them. So, I don't know. May throw it in short iron. May try to melt it off first. It's a good wintertime thing. I just saw something drip in there. Well, we got melt. Okay, for some reason it just burned out. I don't know if my tip is getting fogged. So there's some oil burning there apparently. got my siphon tube apparently cracked. So that's not good. I'll go ahead and pause this for a minute and we'll get back to you. Okay, fixing to put it back together. I just have to put the nut on there, put my little insert in there, slide it in. Apparently developed a crack and that stopped the siphon. Stopped the oil feed. It was sucking air instead of oil. Back up to temperature, we'll start melting again. let's take a look at what we got. That was definitely different. I think I got the crank out of there. Still looks like it's pretty warm. Some aluminum still in there. Didn't get all of it. I may fire it up later. But wanted to kind of see what we got here in the bucket. Yeah, we got a lot of loose stuff, but we also have some artwork. Kind of sharp point right there. Didn't quite cool off enough. And the droplets stuck together. So they may have to be remelted. But a lot of this is pretty small. If I would have turned the heat down, or it didn't melt so fast, and probably kept the cold water going in there, probably would have been fine. But some of that was just flowing out, so it didn't really have time to cool, and it just built up. Plus the water was getting kind of warm too, so all in all, it was a good experiment, and for the most part it worked out well. I probably should have turned it down to 30 or 25 on the pressure. That would have slowed the air down, oil down, and it would have cooled it off some in there. But all in all, it looks like it will work. And when I go to remelt, all I have to do is throw that stuff in the crucible and probably get a lot more in there, maybe, than those ingots. So it's kind of interesting, and I may be able to put this on something where it doesn't get everywhere, where it's going to get dirty, and hit it a few times with a hammer, and a lot of that will probably bust up into smaller pieces. It's probably not melted together real well, but probably good enough. I may try to clean a few of the pieces out of there and maybe melt a little more this afternoon. I don't know. It's going on 2 o'clock already. Might go in there and get this video ready to go and get it uploaded for Sunday, which is by the day you'll be watching this. But yeah, still neat looking little pieces, aren't they? But yeah, I think a lot of that'll break right off. I need to get some kind of strainer to dump that into so I can get it dried out good before I put it in the crucible. But yeah, I kind of like it. The way that was flowing out of there, there's no way I was going to keep up with the with the ingot pans. That was coming out way too fast. So I guess I'll call it quits on this video. Want to remind everybody of my Amazon affiliate link. I do have some supplies over there. I do have a Siphon nozzle for an oil burner on that list. It's not the one I'm using. The one I'm using, you can go to the playlist and look for one of the first videos. I have the build, and I have the siphon nozzle listed in it, and it's the 1 gallon per hour. You can see for the time we spent, we didn't really use very much oil, maybe a quart to melt all this down, and the oil's free. So I'm mixing a little bit of kerosene in with it, just kerosene I've had left over. I brought in a kerosene heater here a week or so ago, and I think it's full of kerosene too. I'm gonna have to dump it out and check it. I mean, even if, as long as it doesn't have water in it, it should work just fine. But yeah, that aluminum artwork looks kind of neat. But like I say, I'll see if I can tap it apart. I got like a tabletop over there. It's got about a 2-inch lip. It sticks up. I can set it in it and try to put a piece of railroad track in there and tap on it, see if it'll break up and, you know, back up into smaller bits. All it has to do is fit in the crucible. But if you like the video, hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you would, and share it with your friends. Tell your friends about this YouTube channel. Had a couple loads I was supposed to go after today, but with that rain, the one guy said I can't get down. He's got about half a mile dirt road, and it's going to be real muddy. The other guy was saying basically the same thing. And one guy's got it loaded up in his truck. He's going to meet me probably in Newcastle. So I told him, okay, Monday after work, we can probably do it. He wanted to go to the pawn shop in Newcastle, so I said, well, we can meet there. Just transfer from his truck to mine. And the other guy's says he's got pretty much all in a pile. So might bet that one guy is about 50 miles away. So normally which I used to do that distance a lot last year, but I decided this year I really didn't want to do that distance. But he's got a pretty good load for me. Riding mower, no motor on it, but there's quite a bit of aluminum in there, really. Plus that, a lot of aluminum out of that motor. Yeah, I'll try to get this cleaned up, and either that or just go ahead and throw another piece in there, melt it down. Melt it a little slower, maybe. I don't know, might go with ingots. You know, one thing I really need to do if I'm going to continue with this method, I'm going to have to put this bucket in a pan, like a drain pan for a hot water tank. And then I can run a hose for a drain. That way I don't end up with a big muddy mess. I wanted to add on out here, that way I won't be so affected by the wind and the weather, and I could get out here and melt more often once I retire. But I hope lumber prices go down, or it's going to cost a fortune. So I'd like to make it about 18 by 20, something like that. I think come off of that wall about 18 feet. It'd be about out here by the chair here. So about this far away from the building. And pretty much from the edge of the building there to the edge of the brown here. Then I've thought about going maybe another 10 feet or so, make it 30, and just go right up there about almost about the end of the greenhouse. That's 8 foot. Just go up to about there. But my low spot is right about in here, where the water comes off this hill and runs out this way. So that's why I was thinking, ending it somewhere right in there. It's either that or I'm going to have to dig it down over there where it'll drain, or put an underground drain, something. So, yeah, okay, we'll see you guys in the next video. I'm just starting to ramble on and on. I can talk for hours, as you guys know. So, the pile hasn't gone down any. I thought today, since it's cooler, it's only supposed to be, well, I think they're saying about 88 today. And my shirt is soaked. It was nice when I first came out, but it was a little humid. I think it's got a little more humid. And working with this heat and this water right here probably didn't help. Getting all that evaporation off that bucket. Hot aluminum going into that water. As you notice, I always run that cold water in there before I stick my hand in there to check the temperature. But yeah, there's quite a bit of aluminum down in there. Okay, I'm going to get off here, find something I can kind of strain that with, and spread it out where it can dry. Put it inside, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.